Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today.
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today.
In 1972, well-known paranormal researcher Ivan T. Sanderson published an article examining what he called the 12 Devil's Graveyards around the world, areas historically known for unexplained phenomenon and mysterious disappearances. This list included the famous Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Sea, and the North and South Poles. Sanderson and other researchers have gone on to try and explain why these areas are such hotbeds of unusual activity by studying their relative locations, the amount of electromagnetic radiation that surrounds the areas, and the existence of ancient megaliths within some of the regions. Is it possible that we could add one more of these vile vortices to Sanderson's list? Is there a region located on the U.S. East Coast that has claims to UFO, Bigfoot, and ghost sightings all within a strangely definable area? Join the theorists as they grab a packy and bang a couple lefts on a trip to the Bridgewater Triangle.
Welcome to Alien Theorist Theorizing Case File 142, the Bridgewater Triangle. Some wicked echo in there for me. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Listen, I don't even know why we're talking about the Bridgewater Triangle. Like, yeah, some freaky shit happens there, but that's nothing compared to Craig's Triangle.
Oh,
like,
my God.
That's the one I think we should have done. It's self-proclaimed. I've made it up. It's a new triangle. It's the triangle to defeat all other triangles.
It's the best triangle.
It's the best triangle
ever made.
It's Craig's Triangle. Do you have a image of it, Zell? You threw up for the live stream?
I do, but it's not working. Sorry. I don't know why.
That's why we don't do jokes that are based on visuals.
I have no idea why it's not working.
Well, basically,
bullshit.
Can't be funny. Hope you're sexy.
The peak of Craig's Triangle is Yellowknife. And the two bases are San Diego and some other southern place in Florida. Just a huge triangle.
All I'm going to say is Fat Braden would have landed that, and it would have been funny. But Sexy Braden, not so much.
Different.
I know. I've been
Braden.
trying to read jokes to try to reignite my funny. I don't have any good ones. Should I do a joke of the week from now on? I got one now. I can pop up. Want to hear it?
I don't know, man.
I
don't
don't
know if they'll
know.
be as funny as they'll probably just be sad.
All right, I'll try. It's again, now that I'm evolving into Sexy Braden, Funny Braden's dead. He might not come back. Okay, I'll read a joke, see if I can hit it.
Got it.
This is, what's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke timing? I don't get it.
Good joke and a bad joke
What's
timing.
the difference between a good joke and a bad joke timing? There's Craig's Triangle right there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that thing.
That's a beauty.
Look at all the shit that happens in that triangle.
It's about as good as that joke that you were just saying. So
Yeah.
it's good.
I liked it.
Yeah. So what was the joke? I still don't
I still don't get the
understand.
joke.
I don't get it either.
Say it again.
Say it again.
What's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke timing?
A good joke and a bad joke timing.
I think you should hold off when you say timing because you're obviously
A
fucking up
good
the
joke
timing.
and a bad joke.
I get it now.
Timing.
Yeah.
You're purposely
What?
fucking this joke up on purpose is what you're doing. I get you.
Listen, it's not the fat that makes me funny. It's
Whoa!
the booze.
This
Is
is
that an
not-
invisible bottle?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Trisha pulled it out
Move
of
it a
thin
little
air.
to your left. Move it a little to your left.
I forgot the powers of the sauce, and now that they're back, they won't ever leave.
Woo.
This is how Braden got his groove back.
Yeah.
Got hammered. That boy, that's. I think he's faking though. I think that was just water.
Hit it
I think so
100%.
too.
Yeah, has to be.
Bridgewater Triangle. Let's get into it, man. There's some good stuff here.
It's cool.
Fantastic and fantabulous Bridgewater Triangle. That is an area that covers about 200 square miles within the southeastern Massachusetts of the United States. So I know I've heard of the Bridgewater Triangle. I've heard of it a couple times. I know I've come past a couple of documentaries. There's a couple of movies in the works. There's a couple of TV shows I think that are going to happen based on this thing.
Yeah.
I think I heard about it about 3 or 4 years ago.
So my question is right off the bat are triangles just more spooky than every other shape?
Yes.
Like why is it always triangles?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Nothing
can't it be a
happens outside of them.
Why can't it be a spooky rhombus?
A rhombus.
It's not as
I would
spooky as
like-
a triangle.
I think like a vignette. Like it's blurred, so like it's like doesn't have such a hard line of like spooky stuff happens within these lines. Like a vignette kind of leaves some wiggle room. You know what I mean?
No
That's
domain.
what I'm thinking.
No domain.
No, what you mean?
Anything cool is always a triangle. Pyramids, supernatural areas,
Triforce.
Triforce.
Very true.
Very true.
So if you're looking for the points of the 3 points of the Bridgewater Triangle, you'll find them in Abington, Rehoboth, and Freetown, which make up the farthest points of each of the triangle in southeastern Massachusetts. So within that area, you have towns like Brockton, Whitman, west of Bridgewater, east Bridgewater, just regular Bridgewater, which I guess is not as cool as east or west, but is in the middle. Middleborough, Dighton, Berkeley, Rainham, Norton, Easton, Lakeville, Seekonk, and Taunton? Probably Taunton.
That sounds right.
Taunton. I thought they smelled
I am-
bad on the outside.
I think
I'm
Tauntaun.
so disappointed in us right now.
Why?
We're doing a case file on something that takes place in Massachusetts, and none of us we never practiced our fucking Boston accent.
I practiced all day and I just can't do it.
Really? Why didn't you fucking the whole time? If I had a good Boston accent, the whole time I'd be saying, "Say hi to your mother for me.
It's
Say hi to
wicked.
your mother for me."
Wicked.
Wait, no,
wicked cool.
that's not a Boston accent. That's a Marky Mark accent.
That's what I'm saying though. I would have practiced, but that's all I got. I got say hi to your mother for me, or I'm not a cop. That's all I got.
I don't even know
Just-
if I've ever tried
Marky
a Boston
Mark's-
accent.
Dighton, Berkeley.
Marky Mark segue
Wow.
really quick.
No, I can't do it.
Marky Mark.
I recently
Norton.
watched The Happening again, and his performance in that fucking movie. Mwah.
Beautiful.
I don't know why they didn't hand the man an Oscar. I could have been in that movie. You could sub out every scene with me going like this. What? No!
What? No.
Can someone give me a minute? Can I just have a minute?
I'm a science teacher.
Dude, it's bad. But that's
Isn't he a science teacher? He's a science teacher in that one, right?
that's the one where the plants
plants take
decide
over?
to kill people.
Yeah, I know, but like isn't his character like a science teacher or something?
Yeah,
I'm a
and-
biology teacher.
You guys
Basically-
better not
What?
be besmirching
No.
Marky Mark right now. This is ridiculous.
Marky Mark.
We're not
No, no,
besmirching. We're
Marky
saying
Mark.
he's
Have some
genuinely
respect.
great actor.
Oh wait. Let's hand the keys back to Dan here. Where's
Yeah, where are we? Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Bridgewater?
Say hi to your
Bridgewater
mother for me.
is the Bridgewater Triangle is a creepy place. Just a ton of weird, crazy shit happens in there. That it's just got a little bit of everything. Anything and everything that makes stuff spooky. Apparently, this place has it.
You got stuff from UFOs, Bigfoot, supernatural, axe murderers, fuck you name it. It's all happening in this 200 square mile triangle.
Right. In that triangle or kind of near it, but something about that area apparently makes this place like super spooky. The first person to name it or identify or correlate all the events and all the kind of spooky shit that happens in this Bridgewater Triangle is Lauren Coleman, who is a famous paranormal researcher in his own right. He runs it's like the International Cryptid Museum or Cryptozoological Museum there in Massachusetts. He dubbed it the Bridgewater Triangle in the 1970s. And if you know about the guy, Chris Pittman, he's also a researcher on the Bridgewater Triangle. And a lot of the information that we get, a lot of the stories that have been collected and eyewitness accounts have been come from his research, which he's been researching a lot of the stuff that has happened from about like the 1980s on. So he's compiled a lot of research and a lot of stuff. Is
he the guy that he's got the movie? Like the documentary, right?
There's a good documentary on Amazon Prime. They're not paying us to say that, so
I'm sure he's got a few good documentaries, a few good movies, lots of merchandise.
Amazon Prime doesn't pay you to do anything.
We know that.
We know that. For a fact.
We know that firsthand.
Found out the hard way.
Checks in the mail, boys.
Checks in the mail.
Goddamn
Checks
Lex
in the
Luthor
mail.
ripping us off.
Within the Bridgewater Triangle, apparently one of the really spookiest places is you have a place called the Hockomock Swamp.
I know about the Hockomock Swamp. That's where Prince Philip got tagged for the 3 count, lost his fucking wampum title at the romp at the swamp
the romp
to my boy fucking Pat Patriot.
Yeah, and it's King Philip. How dare you sully his name calling him Prince Philip? How dare you?
He's nothing but a prince.
And
he got
that
pinned
was
like a little biatch and lost the wampum title.
Listen, I'm going to take some serious exception to that because everyone knows about the Hockomock screw job, and he was ripped out of that title. Listen, Andrew, there's a reason there's a curse in that place, and it's not going to come back until the belt is returned.
King Philip screwed King Philip. Guy got tagged. Simple as that. 3 count, baby.
Zell, get rid of his camera.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get
him off the feed.
You want to get rid of? You want to get rid of it?
How dare? That's some unbelievable.
Boom. Gone.
Sucks to suck, man. Sucks to suck.
Dude, King Philip was screwed out of the title, and that's why there's a curse because the belt was taken from him. You know,
there's a curse because he's a sore loser and he lost his belt. Simple as that.
Well, he
What's
lost
Pat
his belt.
Patriot done since that? Won fucking 6 Super Bowls?
And he lost his head because he was decapitated. And if you guys have no idea what Braden or Andrew are talking about, that's King Philip, who was the chief of the Wampanoag tribe that lived in the area during the early days of colonization of the Massachusetts area. So the colonists and the Native Americans that lived in the area were in conflict for a long time. As tensions boiled over, there was a relatively long and bloody conflict between them, which they ended up calling King Philip's War. King Philip, the leader
AKA
of
the romp in the swamp.
Right. Eventually, by all accounts, it's a pretty brutal conflict. Women, children, a lot of, civilians, people who weren't even really fighting, died in droves. 3,000 Native Americans died as opposed to like 300. The casualties and colonists were in the hundreds, while you had like 3,000 Native American casualties.
Well,
and this is also too after these guys were fucking ravaged by smallpox.
Yep,
very much.
You know what I mean? Like it said, like the Algonquins lost 90% of their population to smallpox.
Mm-hmm.
That was
that's fucking wild.
North America wide.
300,000 deaths from this fucking Phillips battle.
Yep.
Jesus.
When they ended up catching King Philip, due to the one of the, it's either a traitor or he was from another tribe. There's kind of all that intertribal conflict that they had going on. The colonists ended up beheading him, and then, as was tradition to traitors or losing sides of the battle, they take that head and they put it on a pike outside one of their major towns. So left it up for quite a long time.
In other words, this is obviously a hardcore match. No rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Like, obviously.
And-
yeah, Romp in the Swamp, hardcore.
And obviously the start of a supernatural phenomenon lasting hundreds of years.
Sure.
Well, everybody knows fucking Indian burial grounds are like fucking ground zero for paranormal shit.
Yeah, if Poltergeist has told us anything,
Yep.
that's what happens. Steven Spielberg knows his shit, and we know he does.
He's done it all.
Definitely ancient Indian burial grounds. So yeah, that's one of the theories about why so much weird stuff happens here is because that there is a legend or rumor that there was an ancient Native American curse put on this area. But it's not that this place was, cursed, before or after so much that this conflict happened. There's legends going back, hundreds, if not thousands of years. The Native Americans who lived in that place and depended on or hunted in the swamp. It was one of their major ways of obtaining food and shelter. They found this swamp, which they called, they named it Hockomock Swamp, which means place where spirits dwell.
Oh, so long before the bloody battle, the native people of that area knew this place was haunted as fuck.
Yeah, or they revered it, or they had legends of, this is where spirits dwell. It was a holy place. There was spiritual energy here, that coalesced here, perhaps produced.
So then, everyone knows it's a good mix to add a ton of murder, pain, and suffering to an area like this.
Of course.
On like a grand scale.
That does nothing but help things.
That really helps things along in the paranormal, in the paranormal department. If you want something haunted.
But there is like, all jokes aside, with the Walnut Belt, is it the Walnut Belt? How do I say it again?
The Wampum
Belt. There's like one of the theories is that there was a stolen, like the King Philip's wampum belt was stolen, his like sacred belt, and like it was cursed until that belt is returned.
Right, and nobody knows where that is. Like, there's a story that the wampum belt was taken or given to somebody as a show of a sign of surrender or peace, and the curse is there until that belt is returned to its place.
Boys, I know our next pod trip.
Bridgewater Triangle, right to Hockomock Swamp.
Yeah, return the belt.
Directly and return the belt.
And save. Listen, we'll finally put an end to 2020 by placing the belt on top of the altar at the Bridgewater Triangle.
I mean, Hockomock Swamp does not sound like a super fun place to hang out. I mean, it's like 6,000 acres of apparently black rivers, marshes and ponds, thickets and cedar and maple trees, beds of brush, twisting vines, sinkholes, quicksand.
All right, Dan, you sound wicked smart, okay? But listen for a second. Does it not sound like this curse is starting to boil out of the triangle, and it's maybe starting to envelop more than just the Bridgewater Triangle? Because it's starting to feel like we're all cursed right now. So I'm just saying, if there's a way we can potentially end this, I'm all for it.
I'm going to say it's the Craig Triangle is actually doing more harm than good here. That's encompassing all of North America. So nothing ever good comes out of triangles.
100%. I think
Craig's.
It's true. Both counts.
So, the Hockomock Swamp is a definitely area that is of interest to paranormal researchers. It contains legends. It contains, a lot of paranormal researchers or, the ghost community, spirit community would find that place extremely interesting because you have a long history of human habitation there. Like you guys said, we have the makings of a haunting. You have pain, you have suffering.
Yeah, they have it's like 9,000 years old of like human remains or settlements been found there. So this place has been around forever.
And so with all that long history of human habitation of that area, so you have legends going back at least that far. And so one of the other legends to come out of the Hockomock Swamp is the legends or sightings, history of large hairy hominids inhabiting that area as well. So you have
Bigfoot.
You got fucking Bigfoots. Yeah, Bigfoots. The Bigfoot sightings, one of the most recent ones, or one of the more recent ones, you have one guy named Joseph DeAndre, who is a firm believer that the swamp is the habitat of some sort of creature that has not been identified. So your typical Sasquatch, right? Your large 7 to 8 foot hairy hominid hanging out in a swamp, sparsely populated areas where they could perhaps hide. Again, you have 6,000, maybe 6,000 acres that they could hide in. And like, not only that swamp itself, but that swamp is actually part of a bigger area, which is like 17,000 acres, which they consider an area of critical environmental concern. So it's like you don't have any people living there. So DeAndre had an encounter himself when he was 24 back in 1978. And he said that he was standing on the shore of Clay Banks, which is a pond located in Bridgewater near the swamp. And his quote goes a little bit like this. Does anybody want to do a wicked Boston accent? Want to give it their best? Man.
Let's try. Everyone try a line. A Boston accent.
I was standing there. I can't do it.
I was standing there, and for some reason, I don't got a Boston accent in me, I don't think.
I can't do it. I was standing there.
Had to turn around.
And for some reason, I had to turn around. I do it with a lisp.
All I can say is like, you fucking firefighters from Departed.
Wicked smart. How you like them apples?
So his quote goes a little bit
Where's
like this.
my car keys? My car keys.
My car keys. Wicked smart. I was standing there, and for some reason, I had to turn around. It was a chill or something inside me, and I turned around, and there, off to the right, maybe 200 yards away, there was this, I don't know what it was. It was a creature that was all brown and hairy, like a big apish and man thing. It was making its way for the woods, but I didn't stick around to watch where it was going. I ran for the street.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I like that story a lot because that's what anyone would do. Anyone that's like, I'd stick around to see. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking animal that you don't know of. You'd be so scared. But is this a guy that dresses like Kraven the Hunter?
Yes.
Is this him?
Whoa, what?
Yeah, dude, he dresses like he's on a safari 24/7. He's like, I seen Bigfoot in the woods. I was like, I have a hard time believing him just because he dresses the way he does. I'm like,
I mean, Sergei Kravinoff would have hunted fucking Bigfoot down. This guy's a
yeah, it's true. Yeah. He dresses the part. Let's put it that way. But I like that story and like listening to him talk. He sounds reasonable. I've looked into the eyes of Bob Gimlin, and I know that man's seen a Bigfoot. And I didn't. I looked into this guy's eyes, and I was like, meh.
Bob Gimlin, the man, said, "Hey, you got to buy a keychain to get a picture."
He said, though, hey, don't put that evil on Bob. He said, I don't want you to, but they're asking.
Yeah, it's because he's a salesman. He's telling you exactly what you want to hear.
I mean, I'm not necessarily wowed by this guy's description either. All he said was big, brown, and hairy. That's half my family members.
Look at those eyebrows.
Yeah.
Look at Andrew's eyebrows. That's just going to translate into massive unibrow in about 5 years.
It already does.
Oh, it already does.
Fixed that.
But he's plucking. He's plucking.
If you notice the width of that thing, the width right now, that's a perfect big razor blade right between. Look at it. Look square on.
Buddy,
straight down.
Listen, I'll find it because my camera's so shitty, but I got like Whoville. I've got Whoville fucking hairs coming out of my eyebrow, like fucking 3 inches long. It's crazy.
I'm telling you.
It's nuts. Here, look it. There. Can you see it?
You'd be able to braid
That's how long it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you could
gross.
just, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's a little bit of Lebanese mongoose for you.
Yeah. Disgusting.
So Joseph DeAndre is not the only person who has sighted a large hairy hominid in the area. One person named John Baker, who is a veteran fur trapper from the area, said that he was about a mile from his West Bridgewater home in a canoe on the river that fed into the swamp. and he was laying muskrat lines during one winter night. And he said that he saw this creature, and he said that, being a veteran hunter, he knew it wasn't human because he said he could smell it.
Smell it. Like a skunky. Right? His quote was a skunk musty. It smelled like a skunk, musty and dirty.
It's fucking Argentina skunk monkey right there.
And by the time
Man.
by the time he died in 2001, over in 30 years of trapping the swamp, he said he never seen such a creature.
Or smelt.
And definitely didn't smell it.
And we know we have many accounts of, Bigfoot type creatures giving off that type of smell. Whether perhaps, the Pacific Northwest Bigfoot is different. Sometimes you don't have the smell, or this is maybe some type of skunk ape.
Florida skunk ape.
Be that.
Swamp cabbage man.
100%.
Skunk monkey.
Dude, this guy's another guy where it's like, I know a couple guys that are like fur trappers and like just hardened outdoorsmen. And I just have a hard time that like just one day they're like, I'm just going to make up a fucking bullshit story and I'm just going to run with it till I die.
Yeah.
What else I got to do?
Courriers de bois.
What does that mean?
You never heard of courriers de bois?
No, I don't speak French.
It's old like
you're fucking slacking in grade 4.
Social
studies.
That's old fur trader term.
Hell yeah, courriers de bois.
Listen, I was too busy being cool in grade 4.
No, yeah, I bet. I bet.
I knew this guy in grade 4. He was a gem. He was fat braiding back then. Then he got skinny braiding. Then he went fat braiding. Now he's skinny braiding again.
I peaked in elementary school. Like grade 4, man. Grade 4, I was going to be prom king. I was going to be
All I know is you weren't cool enough to ride on my fucking GT snow racer, pal.
It's all been downhill since year 4.
He was a spiteful little kid, man.
26 years later, he's still spiraling out of control.
It's 27.
27 years. Yeah, even worse.
Yeah.
All right, so we got ancient native burial grounds, ancient like native battles, probably unleashing spirits of unknown power onto this land. You got Bigfoot sightings. What else makes this area so paranormally activated?
What else makes it paranormally activated?
Yeah, like
hold on. Before we get there, let's have a quick beer break before we take the next.
True, I got to go crack one here real quick. Yeah. Let's take a quick beer break.
Another drink.
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today. The comfort of your favorite seat is now your comfy car selling command center, thanks to Carvana.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Your favorite seat's the best spot in the house. Make it even better by entering your license plate or VIN and getting a real offer in minutes.
There really is no place like home.
And speaking of home, Carvana will pick up your car from yours after you finalize your offer. Visit Carvana.com or download the app and sell your car from your comfy place.
So, we were talking about Sasquatches, hairy hominids.
No, we're talking about what's next in the swamp, the other things they see. We already talked about hominids.
Right, no, but I'm saying, so there's apparently another type of some sort of supernatural being that manifests itself as not the 7 foot tall, 8 foot tall Sasquatch creatures. You also apparently have some sort of smaller, like 3 to 4 foot hairy monkey people, I guess. I don't know. That's how you would. I've seen pictures of them and it's creepy. Like, it's just whatever. But
what do you mean pictures? Like an artist rendering, or someone thought they actually took
like
a
an
picture?
Artist, not an actual picture. Sorry, like an artist rendering of what was sighted. One of the best eyewitness accounts of these creatures, which are called puck wedgies.
Puck wedgies?
Wait a second. What did you say?
Puckwudgies.
Aren't those the girls in high school that only date hockey players? Isn't that what they're called?
I think so.
Yeah, Puckwudgies.
There's a picture
Puck wedgies.
There's a picture of a Puckwudgie. It looks like
There's
a troll, like one of those weird trolls with has like a porcupine head. It's
pretty accurate.
Porcupine.
If I
name.
remember high
It
school.
looks like a high
correctly.
school girl that only dates a fucking hockey player. Looks about right.
Yeah,
That's what
you're right. I remember there's
Puckwudgies?
tire wedgies. There was lax wedgies.
Yeah.
All sorts of different wedgies.
Okay, there you go.
That is not exactly the one that I'm referring to, but apparently somebody who has seen one. You have an account from one person named William Russo, who lived near the Hockomock Swamp, and he had a story where he said that he encountered one of these beings during one of his late night walks with his dog. At the time, William was working apparently like the midnight to 3 a.m. or, one of the late night shifts at the time. And so he would usually get off about midnight, and then he would take his dog for a walk in their area within their towards their center of town. And that during that time. Now, he was what...
Choo, choo. Ewan, choo.
Exactly. So when he was...
Wait, what the fuck is... No, what are you doing?
Choo. Ewan, choo.
That is the sound that William Russo reported that he heard
He didn't
while
hear
walking
that.
his dog.
That's what he heard. Exactly.
weird.
That's exactly what he heard, actually. Picture the creature. Okay, I'll bring the creature back.
Yeah.
If you can't see the live stream,
find the better one, not that one.
Not that one?
Find the William Russo
What do
one.
you mean? That looks like a troll doll. That's perfect.
There is...
Is this okay? Maybe this is the one. Oh yeah, this is Ewan Chu. Ewan Chu. Kerr.
That one.
Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one I'm talking about.
It looks like
Okay,
I don't know.
Do the
Looks like a
what is it? What
capuchin
does it sound
monkey.
like, Zell?
Oh, it sounds like Kerr, Choo, Choo, Ewan Chu. Exactly.
I
like
now
that.
know Zell's new D&D character.
Yeah.
Zell is
Irish
officially a
mating
Puckwudgie.
So Russo said that this creature was making this sound, and it sounded like it was trying to mimic human speech of a type.
Really?
Yeah, it was more like, I think he said, when he says it, like a couple documentaries, couple interviews, right? He says it's more like, it's not like Kira, it's like Kia, Ewan Chu. And when he saw this creature, he said that the creature, like it put itself within like a center of one of the street lights. It put itself within a kind of like a circle of light, and that it was reaching out. It seemed to be reaching out to him, almost beckoning him to come like towards it.
He's gonna take a chomp out of his fucking carotid, probably.
Right.
No, thank you.
Russo reported that he remembers vividly the reaction that his dog had. His dog was something like a Doberman, Rottweiler mix. It was a large dog, 90-pound dog.
That's a goddamn hellhound from Resident Evil. What are they like?
Yeah. And he said that, he made a point to relate that his dog is normally fearless. This dog is, not to be trifled with. But for some reason, even before he saw that or he heard the Puckwudgie making these sounds, like the dog had started almost shaking uncontrollably. Like it was afraid of something. And that it was when it saw this thing along, William Russo saw this thing and the dog also saw this thing. The dog wasn't barking. It was more like it was trying to get away. It was not, it wasn't its what he would consider like a normal reaction to something like this.
Maybe his dog's just a huge wuss.
Not according to him.
Not according to him.
It was a Rottweiler Doberman hellhound
Mix.
I get.
Pitbull.
Yeah, I just can't see it being that much of a pussy.
Well, I mean, this thing's only 3 feet tall, man. It just doesn't seem that big. Like, doesn't seem that menacing to a dog. Like,
maybe it's got some
unless it's, like,
supernatural
speaking some
powers.
dog, yeah, some dog, like speaking on some dog wavelength.
The Choo Choo Iwan Chu, some type of.
Russo said he interpreted it to kind of be like what he thinks it was trying to mimic, like the Kia was like supposed to be like here, like it was mimicking, like it was saying here, or it was mimicking the sound of human speech or what I had heard or interpreted.
It sounds like he's saying here, me want you.
Right, exactly. And that is what
Choo Choo, me want you.
And that's the same thing that Russo interpreted it to be saying. He said that it was we want you, and it was reaching out to perhaps
kill him,
take him somewhere.
The guy's gonna bend down, like try and pick it up. Oh, it's like a little kid. You go to pick up the little kid by the arms, whatever. No, then it just tromps on your neck, rips you out. You bleed to death in 5 seconds, and then just eats you.
Buddy, I'm kicking a
you into
field
another
goal
dimension
on that thing.
or something.
Yeah, another
Back into the
dimension pulls you
woods.
in.
Thing's getting punted.
Buddy, I'm not even going anywhere near that spider monkey little bastard. I want nothing to do with that fucking thing.
What if he came charging you?
Buddy, look what those.
Oh, I'd
look what
run
the
so
Ewoks
fast.
did to stormtroopers, man. I'm not fucking.
They crush
with those guys.
ATST's
Yeah.
armor-plated
I-
heads with logs.
Nah, no thanks.
They've got really low centers of gravity, and they're pretty solidly built. So it's
Those
like
little Care Bear bastards can fuck right off. I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
so that's one of the other legends to come out of the Bridgewater Triangle. Now, if you move on from the type of like these type of creatures, you have other reports of other types of creatures living with or appearing within the Bridgewater Triangle. So you've got these reports of hellhounds or of some sort, red-eyed dogs of like unusual size.
Who's the guy? And he like called the police because there was like a giant black dog menacing him, and it tore. He said it footloose 2 ponies' throats.
Footloose. I mean Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Fucking Dalton.
Instantly, he's like, I didn't even have time to think, and it just throat ripped 2.
It's not even Patrick Swayze, buddy. That's Kevin Bacon, isn't it?
What? No.
It's like this
what?
fucking thing.
Footloose, yeah,
this
Footloose.
fucking thing.
It's not even Patrick Swayze. However you fucking besmirch the Sways. What's wrong with you?
Man, I'm
said
good looking.
Ghosted.
That's what's wrong. You know,
Footloose.
I'm sexy now, Angie.
Dirty
you know
dancing.
exactly what's
Man,
wrong.
you blew it. Go get a fucking Big Mac in you, buddy.
It's just some guys out
Fucking
there
lost
dancing
it,
with
pal.
ponies, man. He footloosed my ponies so quick. Everybody turn footloose. Footloose. No, throat ripped these 2 ponies instantly. This guy was terrified.
them.
Said this dog,
Of course.
this black beast was gigantic, and it just took off. And there's other reports of this giant black dog like terrorizing.
Are we
people
talking like
and,
dire wolf size?
We're talking Sirius Black.
yeah, big wolf, man. It's throat ripping.
Throat ripping ponies.
Like the
2
size
ponies.
of a pony. So like a dog a size, because when they related the story, at least when I listened to the story told by Lauren Coleman, who had reported on this, like as cryptozoological study or that area, he said that these dogs are like the same size of the ponies that they were throat ripping.
Jesus. So you got
Fucking
Bigfoots,
ponies.
you got giant dogs, you got hellish Ewoks.
Well, and
Yes.
there's also reports of giant cats too.
Oh, great.
Right? Like there's been tons of sightings of giant cats, and now there's like various reports of people being like, it's just a normal cat. And then people are like, that's not a fucking normal cat. It's ginormous.
So they got pumas, mountain lions up in that region?
I don't know. I don't know if you have pumas and
Did they go that far north? Dan, would you know?
but those are big cats, man. Like even if there is one, like a mountain lion, I would be more inclined to like if someone who had never seen a mountain lion saw a mountain lion, you'd be like, I've seen one once and I knew what it was and I was still like, that's a big cat, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
There's 2 accounts of giant wild cats in 97 and 2001. Verified puma says sciencing.com.
Yeah,
there's
but probably
pumas-
not in that area. I don't think
It-
southeast.
Yeah, it just
It might be over on the western side of Massachusetts, but I don't think it's going to be in the southeast.
yeah, it's
side.
too long of an article to read. But anyways, giant cats,
yeah,
giant dogs, Bigfoot, hellish Ewoks.
Cryptid galore.
Got a few Ford Thunderbirds.
Yeah, sightings of Thunderbirds. Yeah,
What is a
Ford
Thunderbird?
Thunderbird?
Like Zapdos?
yeah, pretty much. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
the god
More
of
like
god of the
Articuno.
sky, pretty much. In a lot of Native American like lore, there's like that, like their gods would be like Thunderbird. Well, I know
Trans Am.
Phoenix, Articuno, was it Moltres?
Firebird,
Moltres,
Yeah.
Moltres,
yeah.
Articuno, Zapdos, and there's another one, isn't there?
Technically Lugia, the water one.
Mm.
But what's the thing with
Oh,
the Thunderbirds? Are they like, do they come out in thunderstorms? Is that the only
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, they're god of
Okay.
the sky. Yeah,
They'd be like
All
the
right.
heralds of storms and things like that. You'd have a Thunderbird that would
All
come
right,
on the
see,
storm.
That's also terrifying. So tons of terrifying thing in the Bridgewater cryptids. What else we got?
So another one that you have is often you have these sightings of UFOs in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently sightings have been going on, at least like one of the earliest accounts I could find is in 1908, where two undertakers were on their way from West Bridgewater to regular Bridgewater. And they reported what they saw in the sky as a giant lantern, and they said it hovered in the sky for nearly 40 minutes.
Wait, so two undertakers seen a UFO in 1908.
Yeah,
That's
one.
That's
but
one.
That's the earliest one. I'm just saying that's the earliest one.
Well, I read there's
Um,
actually like as early, like that one researcher who what was his name at the start, Lauren Coleman.
Lauren. Yeah.
I think in his book he actually says in like the farthest account he could find of a UFO was like some type of giant like fireball type thing in the sky in 1760.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder if the two Undertakers were so shocked by this image that their eyes rolled back in their head.
And then the lights went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you heard a big bell toll.
They choke slammed each other into the mat.
Yeah,
Where the move came from.
it was probably the same one,
Tombstones.
the same Undertaker.
Probably.
He's undead.
Had Paul Bear in the back. Oh, Undertaker.
I can't do a good Paul Bear anymore. Too sexy.
Fuck, man. Can you share a picture of you looking like the Undertaker, or looking like Paul Bear, please? The lowest moment in your entire life. Can you please share that?
I'll tell the story. I'll tell the story after on After Hours. So if you're on our Patreon, I'll tell the story
The day I
of when these
crumbled
guys
Braden. I crumbled
they
him with this fucking
crumbled
one
me
sentence.
on a big day for me.
And
I
I
had to
didn't
stand in
even
front
mean,
of people.
dude. I didn't even mean to be a shitty person.
Yeah, you
I
meant
was
it.
just
We'll
making.
talk- we'll talk
no, I
about it
didn't.
later.
I just tried
well,
to. I made an
Fish
observation.
that story in After Hours.
So we got
Tune
one
back in.
UFO. There's plenty more UFOs in the Bridgewater.
Right. You have another sighting in the summer of 1999 by Courtney Cullen, who said that they were having a cookout near Lake Nipponicket, or as they call it, the Nip. Apparently, it's the cool thing to
Nip
call it.
slip.
Up in the nip.
I'd slip in the nip.
Little slippery nip. When she heard it, her quote is just quintessentially Boston. Suddenly it was a noise, wicked loud.
Wicked loud.
Wicked loud.
Wicked loud. And next there were lights in the
Wicked
sky.
loud.
She reported that there were no color, but they were just bright lights, and they seemed to be descending fast and coming straight from the house from behind where they were having their cookout. She said that it seemed that the lights were on a trajectory almost to crash into the house, but right before they were to crash into the house, they darted sideways at an unbelievable speed, and they just disappeared off into the distance. So she just remembers that. Also, she noted that after these UFOs disappeared, there was at least one helicopter that appeared in the sky, or no, more than one.
Black helicopter.
She didn't say it was black helicopter. She said it's more than one helicopter, but
Always black helicopters. Always after UFO sightings.
Was there two guys that were wearing strangely fitting black suits and makeup knocking on people's doors after this?
Poorly applied
Yeah.
makeup.
Making things appear and disappear.
Oh.
okay. So the people who are listening to the podcast can't see that.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Just picture the joke. Braden,
I'm just
Braden
doing.
did some
Sorry, I'm
magic.
doing magic right now. Basically, sleight of hand magic for everyone that's listening. That's why you want to watch us live, uncut. And
Uncut,
I do
raw.
sleight of hand magic, close up hand, sleight of hand magic.
Street magic on Skype. Now, so not only do you have these sightings, I know there's at least two other at least one other sighting where they said that they saw some type of UFO that was shaped in this like it look. They said they described it as looking like a home plate from a baseball game.
Oh,
with
that's a
lights that
weird
came
shape.
out
Weird
of the side.
diamond shape.
Yeah, like a
Wasn't
not
the
like
home
a
plate
baseball
like a-
diamond, like the
like
home
the-
plate.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, but that's like it's like a half a diamond almost, and then square on the top. Pretty much.
No, it's
triangle
square
on
on
the
the
top.
bottom.
No, it points on the
Square on the
bottom, or is it point on the top?
Point on the top.
Point on the top.
Point facing the
It's
picture.
a square with a triangle on top.
Is that
On top, yeah.
trapezoid? Is that what that's called? Square with the triangle on top. Is that trapezoid?
Who he is wicked smart.
Who's wicked smart here? What's a trapezoid?
I have no idea,
Yes.
dude. I'm not even gonna pretend to know. I have no idea. Dan, do you know?
No, it's definitely not
Pentagon.
a
It's a
Pentagon.
pentagon.
It's not a
not
pentagon.
a pentagon. No.
Yeah,
I just fucking Googled it. It says
2, 3,
pentagon.
4, 5. It's 5 sides, so it's a pentagon. Yes.
Yes. Fucking suck it. Guess who's
Trapezoid
wicked
is
smart?
two parallel sides. It's two parallel sides and one
Two angles. Yeah.
and two angled sides.
Wicked smart and wicked
Wicked
fast.
smart.
Quit pretending you're a fucking townie.
I'm not a cop. Say hi to your mother for me.
What? No.
Give me a minute. Can I just get a minute?
I'm a biologist.
Say hi to
Um,
your mother for me.
What other stuff do we have going on at the Bridgewater Triangle?
Well, the last real strange thing that you have is this is the strange thing. You could actually go look at this if you're there, which I think would actually be fun to check out. Is there's this thing that they call the Dighton Rock. So the Dighton Rock is this large piece of stone that has been excavated, and it is it lies across from the grassy island burial grounds of Hockomock Swamp on the river over there, the Taunton River. And it seems to have numerous inscriptions of unknown origins carved into the face of the rock. So there's tons of speculations about what these inscriptions could possibly be. They go from, Native Americans who lived in the area perhaps had written in their language on the rock. I don't know if Zell can pull up a picture of it. Yeah, he's got pictures.
He's got
of
it up there, yeah.
So
It's weird.
yeah, and it's Native Americans. Some people think it's Norse runic language. Some people think it's Phoenicians. There's one theory out there that it's even a type of Chinese. And there's also Latin. That it's a type of shorthand Latin from Portuguese explorers that might have visited the area before
like
English
a-
settlers.
That's like
Rosetta
ancient
Stone
geocaching.
kind of.
You go there, no matter like all the civilizations of the time would go there, mark it down, and then others you gotta go try and match it.
Yeah, and it is a really strange piece. This is a really strange artifact because it is like it's not like etchings that are either natural or just even strangely natural, remarkably naturally formed. It's like they're actual inscriptions in there, and they're not recently done. It's definitely not a hoax.
It's not some fucking tag is.
Well, in
No.
the picture we're looking at, on the one I pulled up, it looks like chalk, but is that probably just like it's etchings and then people like chalk into it just so you can
I
read
think-
it better?
Yeah. So there's just a lot of it. It's not only it's not like alphabet language. There's like pictographs in there. Some people have said pictures like shapes of faces. People have been able to kind of identify if you look at it. It's really strange, and it's really fascinating to take a look at. If anybody wants to look it up,
It seems to be just the one. It's a giant boulder, like it's like a 60-ton boulder. It seems to be, from the accounts I could find, that's the only real thing like that there.
Yeah, it's the only thing like it in that area, or even really anywhere. So and nobody has any idea. There's been like one or two actual academic papers written about it. I think some people have actually, the big contenders are the Portuguese, that a Portuguese explorer had visited the area, or there were records of a Portuguese exploring party had somehow been in the area at some point, and they had written in like a shorthand Latin on that rock.
Like, pretty much everyone knows that Columbus didn't discover the New World. He wasn't the first like person from another continent to come. Like,
what?
Yeah.
No.
Imagine that. They still teach it in school.
No,
they still teach it in school. But they know for a fact that on like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, like Vikings actually were there like 1,000 years prior. So I'm looking at the map right now, and so if there's settlements on like, well, if you go with on Oak Island, if you go with the Oak Island mystery, they think they found some Norse like runes on there, and it's actually not that far if you're already made it that far sailing to go down the coast from Nova Scotia down Maine to Massachusetts. It's not that far, so it would make sense. Like, I bet you, like the Vikings, like the Norse, like probably did that whole coast. I'm not sure how far they made it, but if they made it to Nova Scotia, I don't think it's much of a stretch to say they made it just a little farther south.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the top theories that kind of sits in there. I mean, people have proposed that idea since 1837, and some mainstream archaeologists like to reject that theory. But again, like you're saying, it makes a good point that perhaps the Norse had made it a little bit farther, or, one or two ships had made it farther than we previously thought.
And don't
Something
they think
like
just on global exploration, haven't they found like Egyptians were probably like intersea sailors as well? And like a whole bunch of other tribes that initially they thought probably didn't make it that far probably may have sailed the oceans.
There's definitely possibilities. I haven't read up as much on it as much as I probably should, but I definitely know that, there's theories that perhaps the Egyptians had been interatlantic explorers, or at least one or two ships maybe had made it across the Atlantic Ocean, or even civilizations like the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians were legendary sailors.
They're the first people to circumnavigate Africa.
Yes,
that's a fact.
Them apples.
So
Lebanese.
So they had perhaps
Smart.
Wait, Phoenician Empire was like Lebanon?
Yeah.
That was like home base, Lebanon, for the Phoenicians?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go.
What's what like isn't there's a lot of ghosts in the Bridgewater Triangle as well. I know we talked about
the ledge.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
There's talks of someone they call, well, there's multiple different ones, but the main one they talk about is like the redhead stranger, or the redhead hitchhiker, which many people have seen. And I think like the main story. What are you laughing at? Smirking at me.
No,
you guys are both smirking right now.
No,
I'm
I
not
just
sorry.
remembered something earlier.
Yeah, and then I was smiling because I was like, is he not gonna say it because he wants me to say it, so then he can
I thought
get
you were
mad
gonna
at me
say it.
later?
I thought you were gonna steal
well,
my
that's
shit.
why I'm not gonna steal it.
Oh, I get what you're going for. We'll see what happens here.
This calls back to your joke all about comedic timing. It's already fucking ruined.
It's ruined.
It's too late. Yeah, that's why I
Well, if
started
you sit
smirking.
there and you let him steal it, then he's gonna steal it.
Yeah, I was like, is he not gonna say that gold line he said earlier? He's
Okay,
gonna
set me
let
up
them
again,
all
Zal.
pass?
Set me up again.
Yeah,
Set me
cue
up
it
again.
back.
Set me
We'll
up
edit this.
There's a main theory about, or the main poltergeist, or the main ghost that people see on the road on Route 44, it's called, is the redhead stranger, or the redhead hitchhiker.
Hey, I know what that is.
No, you know. Oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Okay, go ahead. Do it.
One more time.
Isn't that where you sit on your hand with a red glove?
Brutal.
I don't remember what the rest.
That
of the
was
Yeah,
fucking
you blew it.
brutal.
Fat Braden would have nailed
Braden
that.
would have
You
nailed
just
that
stole
for
my
sure.
joke, and you would have got a huge pop. But
Nah, I
skinny
think it's
Braden
funnier
over
this way.
here.
There can only be one.
That's
Too
it.
many cheekbones. Not enough laughs.
Too many cheekbones.
Too much definition on that jawline.
Guy's only got one chin now. What a fucking nerd.
It sucks. It
Nothing
sucks.
from him.
I got nothing to shake.
Thinks he's the man. Thought it was all Return to the Mac with those jokes, and it's Return to the Big Mac more like it. Fucking sucks.
Just
buddy.
wait till I get back on the max.
You fucking suck.
What other ghost? So we got the redheaded stepchild. What's her deal?
Well, it's his, and the famous story is like a man and a wife were driving on Route 44, and they stopped for whatever reason on the side of the road, and he got out, and he had pretty much seen this redheaded stranger, and upon looking at him, his face looked distorted. He looked like corpsey, you would say, and then when he went back to the car, the wife had gotten out because on the radio, she heard pretty much Ouija board voices coming through.
What were they sound like?
Probably sound like probably sounded like this.
Andrew. Hey, what the fuck is that button?
Fuck you.
What's that button say?
You pushed a fucking button. That's my Andrew pushing.
If you have not seen that,
you pushed a fucking button.
You haven't seen that?
Did.
That's
saw it.
that's
I still
Ouija
felt
3. Playing with Ouija 3. It's on Patreon. Maybe we'll release it 1 year later for the public feed, but we'll get there.
Is it not
can't
public?
It's not public.
I don't think it should ever be public, please and thank you.
It was such a good joke. I wanted to save
So
the impact.
bad.
Yeah, for Halloween, dude. Halloween.
We'll release
2020.
We'll release it 1 year later.
I can't believe there's people out there that haven't listened to that yet. Look, it's spectacular.
Enjoy it at my expense.
The funny thing is, I also got scared because I won't ruin it, but I also get scared. You can hear it in my voice.
Yeah, that was,
was-
back when you were fat and fun and had a good
I
time.
was fun. Yeah,
Now you're chiseled and boring.
yeah. I'm not chiseled. I just look better in a t-shirt.
Sexy Braden.
Stupid, sexy Braden.
I just fill up my short shorts a little better. Actually, a little less better. They're a little loose now.
Bet.
Not so tight on the thighs.
Now we're just flat Braden, not fat Braden, but we got
Yeah.
flat Braden.
Dude, I'm fucking riding my bike on pelvic bones. It sucks.
Should have never let you get that Peloton sponsorship. Ruined everything.
Yeah.
Ruined it.
Blew it.
Anyways, I lost where we were.
That's why my feed is way nicer than your guys.
Is that why mine looks the shittiest? Is that what it
I got
is?
that Peloton money. We were talking about the redheaded
Stepchild.
ghost.
Oh,
Well, what other
I lost it.
what other ghosts
my
we
train
got?
of thought.
Any other
Well,
ghosts?
I mean, you definitely have lots of, paranormal activity in this area. It was one of the earliest settlement sites in the U.S. of, Western, European settlers coming over to the United States. So it's definitely like, it's also makes it one of the places with the most cemeteries. It has a lot of cemeteries because there's so many settlers from the early days. So you have a lot of reports of these ghosts and a lot of cemeteries where there's a lot of, ghost spirit activity. You have ones of people say that they see some sort of one cemetery. I think it's in Freetown. They have like a dark man of some sort that will wander through. The people have seen him wandering through between the headstones, like touching the headstones. Some people have seen him like pounding on the ground at some point and wailing or something like that. Cause I mean, as soon as you see that, you're going to take off. I don't suppose anybody goes up and talks to him, but
yeah, fuck that.
No, we would talk to him.
some people have reported seeing a child.
Who's we, Zell?
If we went somewhere on a pod trip and by chance we seen a ghost in a graveyard touching headstones, we're going
Can't see
in.
me shaking my head, but
Dude,
I'm doing
listen,
it.
you
That's
come under his
nonsense.
breath.
You can't see me shaking my head.
There's not a fucking chance. This is how it would go.
I would hold the mics and you guys be gone.
You would be like, someone would say, look at that. We'd all look. We'd already be on heightened edge like a couple of meerkats.
Buddy, it'd be fucking Scooby-Doo. It'd be like,
Yeah.
ghost?
Ghost.
Out of there. Fucking
We'd
see
take
ya.
off. It'd be me and Andrew for a race for first place, followed
Buddy,
closely
I'd
by Dan.
smoke you. I would fucking smoke you. You're not that skinny, buddy. You could not fucking keep up to me on your best day. Enough of that shit. You gotta
Buddy,
get by it.
when this locomotive gets
Oh
moving,
my-
baby, get out the
Buddy,
way.
fucking
All right?
Just you're dreaming, dude. I'd
Train,
smoke you.
don't stop.
Oh man.
So it'd be me,
Buddy,
it'd
you'd
be me
blow
and
another
Andrew.
ACL. You'd blow another ACL. You'd blow
Me and
another
Andrew.
ACL, and next thing you know, Mr. Tall, Dark, and fucking Scary comes walking up to you, mumbling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the council, come on, let's ride. And you're fucking dead. You're dead. because you got
and
no
then
ACLs.
I become part of the song.
Which number would you
You'd be
number
the
6?
next number up.
I've been number 6. No, Zell would hang out for a split second longer than everyone, and then Zell lets out this like he has like this distinct Zell scream. I've heard it a couple times where it's like, ah! And he would do that and then follow suit right after. And that's exactly how it would go. There is no way that we're talking to someone.
No, I talk.
There's not a chance.
I talk a huge game until I got there.
Nope. I'd turn around, walk the other way.
No, what would really happen is we'd have our mobile recorders. I'd prime it. We'd do it. You guys would run. I would stay a fraction longer, and then I would also run, but drop the recorder and be recording the whole time while we ran away, but we'd have to go back for it for the content for the pod, and that's where the real shit would start going down.
You would drop the recorder because you would turn into a fucking bat and fly away, and bats don't have hands. That's what
Bats.
would happen.
Possibly.
Last thoughts on the Bridgewater Triangle?
Just like the Bermuda Triangle, this place is a supernatural hotspot on the planet. How else can you account for every type of supernatural cryptid and haunting all in
I can
a
account
small
for it right
region?
now. I can account for it right now.
What's that?
All this shit started at the Drunken Clam. 2 guys sitting at a table. Guy's fucking wasted. And he goes, you know what I saw? I saw a giant burning thing in the fucking sky, and it was an alien. And the other guy was like, you know what? Well, you know what I fucking saw? I fucking saw Sam Squatch. Oh, yeah, buddy? Well, I also saw fucking Puckwudgies. And they just sit there and go back and forth and try and one-up each other. Because this makes it no fucking sense.
You're wicked scary.
Yeah.
2 fucking drunk guys trying to one-up each other. That's where
You know
all
what? I
these
saw your
stories come
fucking mother last night. How about that?
from. How do you motherfucker?
I saw something real scary last night. Your mother.
That's how it
Don't
happens.
you talk about my mother?
And then it just went up like that, and then
progressed?
spread from that.
That's how the party started. All the stories, everything. That's where it comes from.
Well, it does. For me, it does fall into Craig's Triangle, and we know that Craig's like so much weird shit happens in Craig's Triangle, which is my own triangle that I've created. It's real.
It's
It's canon now, and tons of weird shit happens in there. But it's the mix of like already being a weird, like a Native American, like, you know, folklore of like being very, very spiritual area. Then you mix like all this pain and suffering, and then, you know, the history, and it starts to, and you get people having these spooky experiences. I think the veil's just very thin in this area, and it allows for these things. You know, maybe they're not physical, maybe they're just, you were just seeing through the veil in these areas, and this is one of those spots. That's what I think.
we got to go. Pod trip. 20 whatever, we can go again. That's
Buddy,
where
we're
going.
returning the belt.
Have to.
We're returning the belt. We got to have someone in the show that can make us a ceremonial ATT one-up belt,
100%.
right? Send it to us, and we will return it to the Bridgewater Triangle and lift the curse.
Lift the curse of Earth 2020. We can do it.
Yeah. So,
I am sick that trip.
Dan, what do you think? What's your thoughts on the Bridgewater Triangle?
I think you have an area that has a long history of human habitation, and like you said, there's a lot of legend, folklore that surrounds that area from both Native American and European settlers, kind of intermingling in that thing. So you have all these legends coming together and just having a lot of strange effect in there, whether it's some sort of supernatural that some people try to explain it or theorize that it's some sort of like vortex that happened. Perhaps it's something like like you have the legend and folklore from your European settlers and their mindset intermingling or somehow interacting with the spiritual folklore and legends of the Native Americans, and then somehow manifesting itself within this triangle, within this, localized within this area for some reason. And again, like you said, the veil is thin. So both their legends and folklore and their things from their minds, from their collective consciousness spawn these creatures or these apparitions.
I like it.
Which which we can see.
Well put.
So perhaps it's something like that.
I like that a lot.
I mean, that's good. I liked mine a lot, but that's good too.
What was yours again?
It sucked. Some fucking
people
clam bullshit.
Trying to fucking one up each other.
Why don't we get into a little bit of space news?
Space news.
Don't you ever say that again. I say that.
You shut your fucking face.
Timing.
You push the buttons. Don't you say a word over there.
Yeah, you push the button. Listen, you motherfucker. You push the buttons, okay? I say it.
What do we got?
All right. Space news. Big day, man. SpaceX, private company, launching 2 astronauts into space from U.S. soil in the first time in 9 years. Did you guys catch that live?
I seen it live. I did a video on our socials. But if you didn't see it live, I'm gonna steal the video from C-SPAN. I'm gonna play it right now. I'm gonna play the top 10 or the 10-second countdown. T minus 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Here goes.
4, 3.
Look at that
2,
thing.
1. 0.
Dude, can you imagine for a
SpaceX
second?
Falcon 9 rocket with the Dragon crew on top. Liftoff.
Look at that thing go, man. What a moment.
Pretty impressive.
Dope. Hey, you guys know what?
Fancy
That's nothing more. If you go back to case file 42, that's nothing more than a tinfoil cylinder with firecracker on the bottom.
20 seconds
Yeah.
into flight, stage 1 propulsion is
Pretty
That
remarkable
is.
how far SpaceX has come.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's crazy.
I watched like 15 minutes until it was in orbit and released the capsule.
Every time I see a space rocket launch like this, I think of that scene in Austin Powers when it's flying over the radar. And what's that guy's brother with the big gap teeth is like, sir. Well,
Ron
it looks
Howard's
like a
brother.
big, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Ron
he's like,
Howard's
sir,
brother, yeah.
it looks like a big, and it's like, Johnson. You see that over there? Who wants a Johnson? That's what I think of anytime I see any kind of launch like that. Absolutely incredible.
I launched on Saturday, and then just was probably Sunday evening Pacific time. The docking of the space station. Got that video right here. We're gonna play it too. You can go to youtube.com and look for Alien Theorists. Okay, let's fucking play that. So this is the docking. Oh, slow and steady with the.
Is that real time?
That's real time.
Man, that's
Now, is
crazy.
this controlled by the astronauts, or is this all?
I don't
It's autopilot.
autopilot
It's
by this
autopilot,
point.
yeah.
I think yeah.
I know they tested it. They did some adjustments with like a touchscreen within the capsule itself, but most of it was automated because it looks like, the funny thing is like it looks like it's going slow, but the actual thing is like you're actually moving at like thousands of miles per hour.
Yeah, it's
or
like-
hundreds of miles per hour.
Yeah, at the
it's like
same
no, it's like
time.
25,000 kilometers per hour they're flying at right now.
Yeah.
But because it's relative in
But it's
space like
relative.
that, in
Yeah.
space, and it just seems super slow, but they're just moving that fast.
Yeah.
It's also NASA had a module Docker game you could play, a web browser game. It's
Hard?
friggin' hard. And I had a lot of spare time at work, and so you would take your module and you would just you had to have all the accesses perfect and slowly bring it in, and it took I was almost successful once, and it took me 15 minutes to bring it in playing a game, because the other times I'd rush it in, and you could never, once you were close, you couldn't, it was almost impossible to get it lined up. And then when you take your time, it took me 15 minutes to get it in, and I fucked it up right at the last second. Got too impatient.
You blew it.
Yeah, I blew it.
And you would have been dead.
This isn't so much. Yeah, everyone died. I blew up the ISS.
You blew up everybody.
Just because, as a species, we're jealous and we don't like other species prospering. We found a way to infect mice with coronavirus so we could fuck up the mice world too.
Yep.
So
The space news?
I just thought it was funny.
Earth is in space. This is on Earth. Space news.
Yeah, space news. So we found a way to infect mice with coronavirus because we want to
Well, it's
ruin.
good news as far as vaccines go, actually.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
The scientists were pumped because initially, like they always do, they use usually rodents first when they're doing their testing, but the coronavirus wasn't, for whatever reason, was not taking in mice. Like it was not setting like the infection. So they use CRISPR, the genetic, like the gene modifying splicing program that they've developed to make sure that the mice could contract COVID-19, therefore giving them something to study for vaccine trials. So super crazy, but maybe, hopefully, we can maybe good in the end.
That's how we create mouse men. Not good.
That's how you get biker mice from Mars.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a
was
good show.
cool. Moto was a badass.
Weird show, but
Always
cool.
wanted a
Weird but
robot
cool.
arm.
Yeah. So
I wonder if it holds up. I have fond
It doesn't.
memories of that
yeah,
show.
I have fond
wonder
memories,
if it
but I
holds up.
don't really recall.
It
much
doesn't
about
hold
it.
up. Either does Street Sharks doesn't hold up either.
Street Sharks?
is terrible.
Yeah.
Street Sharks is real bad.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't hold up at all. It's terrible.
Fucking such a cool concept though when I was a kid. Fucking sharks with little human fucking legs wearing
Legs.
work boots and
Yeah.
short
Jacked
jeans.
out.
Rollerblades.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, how did they swim? They didn't have fins.
They had a back fin.
Yeah, but that doesn't do shit.
It can steer.
Those guys were sinking for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
100%.
juiced out.
What was their origin story?
They
Some
were
of
like
the
fucking football players. They're linebackers.
linebackers that got mixed in with.
I mean, yeah, but they were like regular people.
It was the village
No.
people if they got injected with half shark blood, basically. Astronomers just narrowed down the source of those powerful radio signals from space. It's an interesting article. Talks about the deep space fast radio bursts, and we are getting better at tracking them. So since 2007, we've been finding them off and on, and we weren't sure where they're from. And now we're starting to figure out that they can be from neutron stars, black holes, pulsars with companion stars, imploding pulsars, blitzars, gamma ray bursts, emitting giant flares, and aliens. But
Launching
maybe
aliens
aliens.
through
We don't know.
space.
well, we don't know. We don't know if
We
it's
don't
from
know.
aliens.
Gamma rays. We're gonna have Hulks. Better be careful.
But we're getting better at locating them, and we're starting. In this article, it says that we've detected them from some planets. So interesting times. Who knows, man? The Pentagon released UFOs videos. Anything's possible.
Yeah, during the pandemic and no one even seen them.
Listen, it's 2020. Anything's possible. We can do anything.
We got Planet of the Corona apes now too.
Yeah, you got monkeys
Yeah.
stealing coronavirus samples out of a lab. What's next?
Together, ape, strong.
Anyone else? Anyone else have space news? I think that's all I had.
Mysterious anomaly weakening the Earth's magnetic field. Our shields are
right.
going down.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading that. And it's splitting in two.
Right. My theory is some sort of energy entity. And it is sapping it is some sort of like magnetic field parasite that is latched onto Earth. And now it is
Bezos.
now it's sapped enough where it doesn't completely, because it's not a totally bad parasite. So a good parasite keeps the host alive. So now this parasite is feeding off our magnetic field of our planet. And it is now, because they said now it's splitting in two, or it seems to be like it's evolving, or it's starting
multiplying.
they said it could possibly split this thing. It's the South Atlantic they call it the South Atlantic anomaly.
Yeah, it stretches like from South America to like the southern tip of Africa, and it's splitting. So does that mean?
Well, that's what they're saying. It possibly looks like it could be splitting because of this. Because if you look at it, the part of it, like there seems like to be a part of it that's kind of like starting to kind of split off or like move off to the west, a little east a bit. So possibly could be split. Now, geophysicists seem to think that it has something to do with our core. So either we're going to get a crack team together and send people down into the core of the planet.
It's going to stop spinning, and we got to go.
stop spinning.
We got to go jumpstart it, or the fucking world's
Right,
going to
with a
collapse.
nuke.
Yes, has to.
We've seen that works.
Yep.
Do it.
I'm in.
You son of a bitch, I'm in. Sign me up.
A lot of good Albertans looking for some drilling work. I know we could put together a crack team and get to the center of the planet, no problem.
So that's my theory. It's some sort of intergalactic, magnetic
Succubus.
field parasite, and it is feeding on our electromagnetic field. And now it's reproducing. Now it's splitting. It's absorbed enough energy where it's going to split. But it's not that much. Apparently, it's only like since the last time they've detected it, it's like 9%. Like our magnetic field from 100% is like it's taken away like 9% of its effectiveness or something like that.
That seems like a lot, though. 9%.
Seems like
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
how fast did it drain 9%?
A couple years.
If
Since,
2020
1970.
couldn't get worse, now you have
I
a
think.
intergalactic parasite draining the magnetic field of the planet. Great.
Interesting times.
Interesting. Fun times, everybody.
Woo.
Okay, why don't we fire up the randomatron and get a UFO case file of the week? Let's see what it is.
Let's do it. I fixed it this week. Oh, yeah, it's running seamless.
Smooth.
Mongoose Spy.
Oh, shit. Mongoose file, baby.
Be
right.
forewarned, listener, if you're sensitive. I've just take a peek into this one. If you're a sensitive person, you're squeamish. Fucking good night.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross.
Good night. Keep those eyes in the
So,
skies.
But do we have a pic? Do you have a picture I can pull up?
Buckle up. I'll fucking I'll give you a link to an article that you can put in Discord if you want.
Sure.
So obviously at the beginning of these things, we know this happens to didn't happen to me, but it
Yeah,
happened
we
to
know
a
what
friend
you
of a friend of a friend of mine, right?
Yeah, of course.
But in order for me to tell a story, which bothers some people, I put it in first person. This is easier to tell a story that way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easier to steal other people's accomplishments.
Exactly. Take all that credit.
Yeah. But
Okay, so this
isn't
takes place,
someone else's.
in a Canadian city on the West Coast. I'm not going to
Hypothetically.
tell you which city. Hypothetically, let's picture it there. You know what I mean? A nice green forested area.
Yeah.
Some
Mountains,
might say like
ocean. That's what I'm
I
picturing.
might say like Coquitlam, British Columbia, but that's just to paint the picture for you.
Just go there, but it's not really there.
So, our friend of a friend of ours, he was at work one day, and they got a call. And it was peculiar to start with because the call was generated by the fire department. Right? So it comes in and and it's very little blurb on the ambulance's CAD system that says psychiatric was the code for the call. Mental health psychiatric call. And they said at the scene of a forest fire, psychiatric female, bizarre behavior. Code 3 response.
Oh shit.
So we're close. We're not too far away. We get there pretty quick. We could see that the fire department was already there, and the police and ambulance were dispatched to it. So we come cruising up, and as we're going, you can see like multiple sites of smoke coming up. So there's multiple little spot fires. And as we're pulling up, there's a big fire in the middle of this clearing in this we're gonna say it's a park. It's a forested park area. And there's this really big fire in the middle, and then a bunch of little fires surrounding this. And then there's this lady that's kind of blocking the fire department from advancing into the area. And you could see there was a fire captain there, and he was in a heated argument with this lady. And as you approach, you could see the lady's eyes, like her eyes were crazy dilated, and she looked just absolutely bizarre. So I walked up to the captain, and I'm like, hey man, why don't I jump in here real quick? She doesn't look violent. Let me talk to her. Maybe we can kind of talk her down and you guys can get at those fires. The fires didn't look out of control by any means, but definitely not the type of place that you're allowed to be having fire. So I approach this lady and I say, hey ma'am, listen, you know what I mean? Like, you obviously know that you can't do this here. It's dangerous. Why don't we get you in the back of the ambulance? We can talk about what's going on. They're going to put out those fires. It's not a safe spot to be in. And this lady's like, listen, you need to get out of here. Everybody needs to get out of here. It's none of your business. Leave. And you know what I mean? I'm about, I want to say 30 feet away from this giant fire. And now these little fires surrounding, you can see, and they look like there's these large pots that are on these fires. And like the first thing that kind of like dawns on me is it's just this like fucking rancid smell coming from the fire. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you burning here? And she's talking to me. She's like,
I don't know what you mean yet.
I'm just burning bad meat. Just burning bad meat. It's none of your business. You guys need to leave. You need to leave. You guys got to get out of here. And
meat?
And she's pushing me in my shoulders. And I'm like, hey, listen, first of all, don't fucking touch me, please. Second of all, you know, this isn't safe. The cops aren't here. There's way more leg room in an ambulance than a police car. Like, you want to come with us. It's better. And as I'm talking to this lady, I can't help but stare at the fire that's in the center, this big fire. And I'm staring at it because there's just something weird in the fire. And she's talking, she's rambling, she's not making sense. And I'm just looking over her shoulder, staring at this fire. And I can't figure out, like, it's just, I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck is that? There's an object in this fire.
No.
And then just fucking dawns on me. I'm like, that's an ass. That's a human ass.
Oh.
Okay, so anyways, cops come, arrest her. We don't stick around long. We take her in the ambulance, head down towards the ambulance or to the hospital, and I'm talking to her. She doesn't say a word to me in the back of the ambulance, just stares, like just cringeworthy, creepy staring. And you know what I mean? The whole time in the back of my head, I'm like, what was that? Like, that looked like somebody's ass. Like, that's so bizarre. And then within 10 minutes of us being at the hospital, 6 cops show up, throw her in handcuffs, take her away.
No.
Look at the news the next day, and there's a report of somebody's sister missing. And it's got a picture of the person who is suspected for this crime, and it was our patient. Turns out she killed her sister, chopped her up in pieces, and brought her up to this provincial park and tried burning the body.
Tried burning the body?
Burning the body. She had like 6 different fucking pots with, like, her head was in one pot, hands, arm, like, oh man. And then she threw the torso in the main fire. And it was like, man, the smell was like nothing I've ever smelled before. It was like the most, and it wasn't the burning body that stunk to bad. It was the boiling pots that fucking just reeked, man.
Ugh.
Oh, it was fucking gross.
That's pretty gross.
It was pretty gross.
Happened to a friend of a friend.
Hot soup.
Hot soup.
Hot soup.
Ugh, that's disgusting. We got a theory of the week?
Not off the cuff.
All right. Then it's me yet again.
No, we can just say that your alien theorists are against any form of discrimination, prejudice, or racism currently going on, and we're here for you. If you need to talk, we're standing with you. So let us know.
Hell yeah.
Let us know what we can do.
Let's. What else do we do at the end of these things? You got some names you want to make up, or what?
I'll make up a couple of names. It was a low week on Patreon, but we have John Becker Cattleman, Teresa Mendez, Ruben Ceballos, maybe. I think we read them last time, but yeah, I think we read. Low week, always at the start of the month. The turnover, it's just normal.
Anything else before we end the show? Zell, you got a band of the week?
Band of the week is going to be my band, Lucky Monkey. I'm going to play a song off our latest EP, which came out last year. It's called Nothing to Lose, while we're about to release a song coming real soon. So a lot of people forgot that we're an actual band because the last 3 months we haven't done shit. So
I'm gonna say I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to get an original by Zeltron.
Oh, do you want an original by Zeltron?
I want the synth.
Yeah, I want an original by Zeltron.
You want unreleased Zeltron?
Yeah,
I want an unreleased Zeltron. Release it.
All right, I'm gonna play the theme song of our new call-in show called Cosmic Channels, which we have done 4 episodes for. It's not a real podcast yet, but it's coming. So if you want to be on Cosmic Channels, follow us. If you're not following us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we are posting when we're taking calls, and we're putting together a live call-in show with a rotating weekly topic. So I'll play the theme song, custom made by yours truly, my new solo project, Zeltron, coming up at the end of the show. You cannot download or find the song anywhere online quite yet, but
yet.
it's coming.
Not yet.
It's coming. Is that all we have?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I forgot. I am these shows. Keep those eyes on the skies. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.
Stupid, sexy brain.
Timing.
Ruining everything.
Time.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. The comfort of your favorite seat is now your comfy car selling command center, thanks to Carvana.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Your favorite seat's the best spot in the house. Make it even better by entering your license plate or VIN and getting a real offer in minutes.
There really is no place like home.
And speaking of home, Carvana will pick up your car from yours after you finalize your offer. Visit Carvana.com or download the app and sell your car from your comfy place.